So we're back again with Don Cameron as he puts down his coffee. Now 1988, that was a fairly big year for you personally, because you found yourself in the second half of the year at the United Nations and found yourself overseas in New York. And did you find many people talking about World Expo 88 over there?
Well, to be very honest, no sir. It was the other side of the world, and indeed if you were at the United Nations, your mind's occupied more on world events, which should have included Expo back in hometown Brisbane, but very little mention.
But I bet there was one name when you mentioned you were from Australia that people recognised, Alan Bond.
Absolutely, absolutely, because he had humiliated the United States of America, and he was very, very famous on the water.
He was indeed, and in New York, I mean.
Yes, absolutely.
It's what, 3/4 of an hour away.
Absolutely.
And
he was the guy that when he won the cup like that, Bob Hawke, who was the Prime Minister at the time, said any bee who sacked a worker for not taking the rest of the day off didn't deserve to be alive, or some comment like that.
Classic comment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he had the jacket on over the top of his other jacket.
That's
so yeah,
right.
They were really interesting times, but I thought it was important to put some clarity into the fact that yes, World Expo 88 was big in Brisbane. You know, you couldn't get a bigger event. It was significant in Australia because it was a bicentenary event and Australia's biggest bicentenary event. So you get further away and it becomes less important. And at a world centre like New York, barely a ripple.
Well, I hate to admit it, but I have no recollection of people raving to me about Expo back in my hometown of Brisbane.
Yes. Now, just a good historical point as we move to try and secure the Olympics for Brisbane. These events are fantastic, but you really have to work at your marketing to get an impact. But as our previous YouTubers, you rightly identified, there were hundreds of thousands, and I think it's about nearly 600,000 people visited Australia from overseas that went to World Expo. I mean, that's a significant number.
And back then, particularly so.
Exactly right. Courtesy of Sir Frank Moore.
Yep.
How it all ties together. So with that, again, we'll say good morning and we'll move on. Thank you.